Hello friends, operator Starsky reporting from Kyiv, Ukraine. Today is day 601 of the Russian invasion, and oh boy, it was a hot night for the terror Russians. But first, let's check out the updates from the General Staff of Ukraine. So, since yesterday, the angry Ukrainian defenders retired approximately 800 Russian invaders, 14 tanks, 20 armored vehicles, and 26 artillery systems. When the night came in Ukraine, two massive strikes were conducted against the Russian air bases in Berdyansk and Luhansk. It's where their attack airplanes and helicopters are stationed. In the morning, the Russian social media were screaming desperately because it turned out that the Ukrainian missiles reached their targets and de-atomized a bunch of the terror Russian aircraft and several dozens of personnel. The commentators seemed highly desperate, I would say even depressed. Some suggested that the strike was performed using ATACMS missiles. Later, the first pictures emerged showing the remains of the missiles. ATACMS or not, you decide. But then the Ukrainian Special Forces published an update reporting on the Operation Dragonfly in Berdyansk and Luhansk. According to the Ukrainian Special Forces, 9 Russian helicopters, ammo storages, and several vehicles were destroyed. Also, both runways were damaged. The Special Forces report that the detonation of the ammo storage in Luhansk continued until 11 a.m., and the Russian bodies are still being excavated from the ruins. Fact is, Missile Strike is, such a game that can be played by both players. Another strike happened in Skadovsk in the occupied Crimea, killing several Russian officers. Such a dying job it is. Also, the General Staff reports that 30,000 Ukrainian soldiers completed their training in the United Kingdom. Soon they will face the most elite Russian troops the mighty terrorist federation was able to produce. Meanwhile, in the Russian Tambov, the bakeries are being transformed into facilities for producing drones. Or so the Russian media say. Of course, what's the point of baking bread for the cannon fodder? Who even needs bread nowadays in the terrorist federation? Such a stupid waste of stolen Ukrainian grain. A Russian war criminal was captured by the legendary Security Service of Ukraine. Pavel Grebenyuk was accused of torturing the Ukrainian civilians in Kherson. The tortures involved shooting limbs, mutilating, beating up Ukrainian civilians. In other words, being a typical Russian supremacist. After the liberation of Kherson from the terrorist scum, this individual fled to the Russian-occupied territory, but as a result of a successful special operation, he was snatched and brought to justice. This proves that the Russian terrorists cannot feel safe anywhere on earth. Eventually, Ukraine will find them, even if it takes years or months, like in this case. And traditionally, we're gonna review a comment left under my previous video by this man, offering Ukrainians to lay down our weapons, walk to Russia, and hug our Russian brothers. But in order to give this comment a proper response, I should know details, like how hard should I hug my Russian brothers who murdered people in Bucha, like really hard, or like high five will be enough. Also, do Ukrainian widows and mothers who lost their children to the Russian bombs also have to walk to Russia and hug their Russian brothers, or they can have a right? Also, do Ukrainians have to apologize for defending from the Russian invaders and burning those thousands of Russian tanks on the Ukrainian soil? Please let me know. And some more positive news from our closest neighbor, Poland. The government of this incredible country decided to pay out almost 1,800 Polish zloty, which is approximately $400, to the Ukrainian refugees. According to the Polish Prime Minister, Mr. Morawiecki, Ukrainians will find this support useful during the winter period. And, frankly, I simply cannot express how grateful I am to our neighbors for taking care of our families temporarily sheltered abroad. Polacy, jesteście najlepsi. Ukraina zawsze będzie wdzięczna za waszą miłość I wsparcie. With that, I wish you a great day. My name is Operator Starsky, reporting from Kyiv, Ukraine. Be safe.